Welcome to Demystifying Medicine. Today we're delving into the captivating world of artificial intelligence, where science fiction converges with reality. From augmenting our smartphones to revolutionizing healthcare, AI holds the potential to reshape our world in profound ways. But what precisely is AI and how does it function? To help us navigate this topic, we have Dr. David Alain Koff, an expert in medical imaging informatics and artificial intelligence. Dr. David Alain Koff, a Professor Emeritus of Radiology at McMaster University and the founder and director of the Medical Information Imaging Center at McMaster, has pioneered groundbreaking work in medical imaging and AI for over 2 decades. Let's hear from Dr. Koff as we delve into his insights on AI and its intersection with medicine. Starting with the first question, what changes will AI bring about in healthcare in the near future?
So I believe that AI will be a fantastic way to screen through all this data that we're accumulating. Just to give you an idea, a CT scanner now is currently between 2,000, 3,000 images. And if you ask a radiologist to review each and every image, it would be impossible to look image after image. So we're more using the technology, which looks like movies, because we're streaming our data, we scroll through these huge amounts. But if you apply that to the entire field of medicine, the amount of data that we're accumulating has grown in an incredible way over the past 30 years. We went from megabytes to terabytes to gigabytes to petabytes, and there is obviously no limit. There is no way we can consult all this data. We want to go into personalized medicine where our diagnosis and treatment will be more and more adapted to the patient. We need to process huge amount of data from the lab test, imaging test, genomic test, and look at the temporal evolution, so see how it evolves over time. I think that AI is for us the way to go, because that's what will help us to do that. So I'm a strong believer in AI as long as it's used properly.
What ethical considerations must be addressed when using AI in healthcare?
AI is basically the issue of bias and fairness. So the bias, and that not only for AI, for a lot of things, but it's due to the different population and may reflect the gender, the sexual orientation, the ethnicity, social environment, economic factors, but also the age and medical conditions. So all those things need to be taken into consideration, and that's not easy at all, because how do you select your libraries? How do you create the data that you use to train and test your AI? So that's not easy. The bias may also come from the people who are labeling this data, and they may be themselves biased, or they may be not paying attention to some of these issues, and then you end up having poor quality data at the end of the day. So we have to take into consideration the human factor. And AI also is as good as the data that you give it. So AI itself doesn't have the context and can exhibit bias if the data you use doesn't properly represent your patient population on which your AI is used. So it's complex. It's a very complex issue. There is also the issue of privacy that you need to consider. Who owns the data? What use can be done with the data? Can you just go and grab information, or do you need consent? Do you need to take into consideration the population you're looking at? I don't think we solved that yet. I think this will be an ongoing conversation for a long time before we really understand how well represented the population we want to benefit from the AI development. So,
how will AI impact medical decision-making in the future?
So I believe, as I said, that by being able to process the huge amount of data that we have available, then the AI will identify the relevant information. So for instance, if you do blood test and there's somewhere that you looked at the cholesterol and your physician, your patient goes for stroke and someone doesn't pay attention to the cholesterol, some data, then you may have incomplete information and wrong decision may be taken because you just don't have the whole picture. I believe that AI will give you a full picture of your patient, and that will help you to guide this personalized medicine, which will be much more reliable and much more adapted to your individual patient than what is done currently. So it will help us to solve the tracks. It will make the information more reliable. We'll probably make less mistakes because then the information will be trusted, and we won't fall into this kind of bits where you just have a partial vision of your patient. So
What does the future hold for AI in science and research?
well, even if AI has been around for a long time, it's not new, but we are benefiting, and that's why we have AI now, of computing power, which is increasing incredibly. Just think that 50 years ago, it's 50 years ago? Yeah, it's a bit. When the first man landed on the moon, the computers they had at the time were 64K. What we have today in terms of power and computation power, it's so much higher. So if we've been able to land people on the moon with only 64K computers, with AI now, which can process so much more, I think the field of research is just opening, and it's like sending out the most fancy telescope in space. You can see much more than that now. What you can see in astronomy and seeing the galaxy, we'll be able to do it in medicine, and we'll have much more information. The other thing, we'll be able to merge different fields like genomics and radiomics, and by bringing all the data information you can get out of an image, whatever it is, and pathology, we will get a much more precise and reliable image of what may happen to an individual. And also it will increase our predictive value, so we'll be able to predict evolution of disease and probably implement treatments long before even the disease appears. So I'm very optimistic. I think it's very exciting.
And that's all we have for today on the intersection of AI and medicine. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Demystifying Medicine for similar content.